Hey, so I've been meaning to do a video on pregnancy for quite a while. My wife is about five and a half months pregnant, and when she had our first son, Lincoln, I had made a compilation video of her training and everything that she's done and everything she did in training. And some people thought it was outrageous that she was doing this and that she could hurt the kid and blah, 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 blah. So what do I think about training and pregnancy? I think it's almost imperative, unless there's like a health issue associated, a health risk associated, which, if you're getting pregnant, you're probably pretty healthy, that you should almost always train. The biggest thing I see is that pregnancy could be the hardest thing, physical and mental task that any woman could go through. And there might be harder things, but at that point in their life, it's most likely that the pregnancy and giving birth and labor is the hardest thing for the woman to go through. So, from my perspective, before everybody starts telling me I don't know shit because I'm a man and I haven't been pregnant or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Dude, I have the absolute utmost respect for pregnancy, for women who are pregnant and what they're going through, and for the actual act of labor and giving birth. It is an unbelievable experience. We always throw the word around, like the word awesome, but it literally is an awesome experience. And that's what I believe women should take in with their pregnancy. It shouldn't be about this fear and what you're doing and, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be in so much pain, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so difficult and hard, and oh my gosh, I fear what I'm about to go through, so I have to rely on other people like doctors and stuff like that. And I think that's fine to take. I think it's fine to take safety and precautionary measures with your pregnancy. But if a woman who is pregnant is training hard and pushing herself mentally and physically while they're pregnant, the labor will then become a much easier task. Not that it's easy, but it'll be easier than if you didn't do shit. If you sat around, ate fucking corn chips all the time and didn't do shit, it's gonna be hard to have a freaking baby. It's gonna be hard to go through labor. My wife's when she had Lincoln, she was in labor for 24 hours. It was extremely difficult, and she is a badass. She is freaking tough mentally, tough physically, and she struggled with it, but she pushed through everything. We had Lincoln at home, and it was incredible what she could do. It's absolutely mind-boggling for a man to sit there and support your wife through the whole labor, and get her hot packs and massage her lower back and push her through if she wants to be pushed, or massage her if she wants to be massaged. It's incredible to see that. But with my wife, I think she was so prepared for the physical aspect of labor and the discomfort that she would be going through, because she was exercising all the time, because she was training her brain to deal with discomfort. And the big thing, I think, if you're a woman who's pregnant, is to do interval-based training, because when you're in labor, labor and contractions is interval-based. So it's like, my wife always equated it to running sprints for when she played field hockey at Rutgers. It was like, holy shit, like, okay, we got a sprint, and then you get a minute rest. And you got to sprint again, then you get a minute rest, and then you got to sprint again, and you get a minute rest. So like, running hill sprints is awesome. Doing interval training on the squat rack is awesome. Doing anything physical like that is great for the preparation for the difficult task of labor. It's just one of those things that experiencing our first pregnancy, our first child, when Lincoln was born and he came out, I remember the midwife asking us, well, what'd you think? And asked me, and I said, dude, let's do that again. It was badass, because Caitlin's sitting there pushing, and when she was pushing, it was like this awesome display of power that you could not fathom, and she had full control over the situation, over her body through the actual labor. Now the contractions and stuff prior to that, she was struggling here and there, but that's what I tried to help her, and my sister was there helping her, and she had a doula and a midwife was helping her. But when she was actually pushing, it was absolutely incredible, and I truly believe 100%, because she trained physically and she was ready and prepared, and she wasn't fearful of the labor, she wasn't fearful of having the baby, she wasn't fearful of anything. Women are built and meant to have kids, and she recognized and respected that fact, and she was prepared 100%, and it was incredible. Like, just, I can't get over, still 3.5 years later, how much force and how much mental focus, and I asked her, you know, now I can ask her, what was it like? Dude, she doesn't even, it wasn't painful. It's not something that you sit there like, oh my gosh, I'm in so much pain. It's like, dude, you're having a kid. You're about to give birth to a kid. You're not thinking about the pain. It's one of those moments that you don't recognize what you did until after the fact. And that's what's cool about pregnancy. And it's just really, really frustrating to me that the medical community enables women to be turds, to be, you know, go to Taco Bell and eat like crap, go to Burger King while they're pregnant and eat like junk, because they want to be comfortable. And then these women become fearful, and they're about to embark on the most physical task of their life, and they haven't done shit to prepare for it. And that's absolute freaking crap. It's absolute bull crap, and it pisses me off that the medical community allows that to happen. They enable people to do that because they tell them, oh, we'll give you Pitocin, we'll give you this, we'll give you that. And those drugs are fine if they're absolutely needed. But if women took the pregnancy into their own hands, into their own control, and said, you know what, I'm going to control this pregnancy, I'm going to control this labor, I'm going to eat really well, I'm going to take care of my body and prepare mentally, and do yoga and do, you know, interval training or weightlifting or anything, walking, sprinting. I'm going to do all these things myself so that I'm prepared for the most difficult task that I have ever done, and so that my child is born safely. That's what women, in my mind, need to do when they get pregnant, and stop being fearful, and use the medical community, you know, use them properly. Like, Lincoln aspirated meconium. He was born at our house, but we had to take him to the hospital, and the hospital basically saved his life. And that's what medicine, modern medicine, should be used for, not for enabling you to be a fat turd. So I know this is a long rant about pregnancy, and I'm a man, and some people are going to call me out and say I don't have anything, that I shouldn't be saying anything because I'm not going through pregnancy, and I never will. But that's how I feel, and I'm really proud of my wife, and she's going through another pregnancy, and she's taking care of her body, and she's taking care of her mind, and I'm really, really happy that I can speak on, you know, from my perspective of what I witnessed with her and how she's been through her pregnancy. And I really, really think that if a lot of people took care of their body and care of their mind the way she does, there'd be a lot less issues within pregnancy. So hit me up with any questions about parenting. I'm going to start talking about parenting and stuff like that, and what I do with Lincoln, and what I think people should and shouldn't do, and why my kid swears and why other kids don't swear, and go through all that stuff. So send me any questions or emails, and hopefully I'll hear back from you soon.